Hey guys, so today I have my October wrap-up to show you all, and I didn't read a lot. That's a lie, I kind of read a lot. My Spookathon wrap-up will be a part of this, I guess. I didn't do so hot. But this was my first year participating with a vlog and reading, and I definitely failed on the pictures because I didn't try at all for that. But without further ado, let's just get started. So the first book that I read in October was actually The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I gave this 3 stars. It was not the book for me. It was very polarizing. I liked it as far as like all of the conversations that it was having as far as about abuse or LGBT people that were represented. That was great. Those were conversations that needed to happen because those were like accurate to that time and sadly kind of today as well. But other than that, I didn't really care. The characters were awful, I thought. But I know for some, these characters will just be like the best characters you've ever read. But for me, it just did not cut it, unfortunately. The next book I read was The Lies We Told by Camilla Way, and that was an ARC that I received, so thank you very much. Here's the cover, and it was fantastic. I loved the premise. I actually have a review on my blog if you would like to go check it out. It is linked down below. But this girl comes home and her boyfriend, I believe, boyfriend. Her boyfriend is missing. He went out to hang out with some buddies the night before and never came back. And he had an important meeting that morning, and that's not like him to go missing for stuff like that. But when she starts going through his stuff to try and like see, okay, like where's his phone, or like he left his phone behind, can I call one of his friends to see if they like maybe have him or whatever. She went through his email and she found a folder labeled something not appropriate. And it just kind of sparked this whole succession of things, and it was just wild and crazy, and it did not go the way you thought it was going to, and that book just blew me away. I loved it. It was fantastic. If you love thrillers, you will absolutely love this book. I cannot speak any higher of this book. I really enjoyed it. The next book that I read was First to Die by James Patterson. This was fine. It is a classic thriller full of classic things, and I enjoyed it, but it was not like the best thing I've ever read. It was fine though. So then I listened to the audiobook of The Widow, and that was pretty good. It is about a couple different people, but I feel like the main character is about this woman that her husband was being tried for killing a small girl, and like he doesn't actually get charged, but then he dies. And so it's basically like the media trying to get the story out of her, but also getting it out of the mom of the little girl, and then trying to figure out what happened. And it's from a whole bunch of different perspectives. I think you get the mom, the wife, and the detective, and I feel like there's one other person. Oh, and then like a delivery driver who knew her husband. So this was actually pretty interesting. I think the audiobook was probably the route to go because it was a full cast, so I really enjoyed that. I believe I gave this 3 stars as well, but it was good. And then this next book, my entire family will be so proud of me, and I mean they already are, but pretty much half of my family and my husband's family have read this author in particular, and that is Stephen King. I officially read my first Stephen King. It was Christine. It was fantastic. I think I gave this 4 stars, but I think I'm gonna bump it up to 4.5. I really loved this book. It is about a boy named Arnie and his best friend Dennis. And one day they stumble across an old, beat up, just sad car, but Arnie falls in love with it. And he buys the car, but then the car starts doing some real weird things. And Arnie is not Arnie anymore. and Dennis is trying to figure out what the heck is happening to his best friend. I really liked this book. It was the perfect first Stephen King to read because it was not that scary, but it did give me some trouble trying to fall asleep. But I really loved this book. I thought it was fantastic. The characters were great. Arnie was making me so sad though. But I can't say enough good things about Stephen King, and I will definitely continue to read a whole bunch of his books. And that was when Spookathon happened. As you can tell, there are not a lot of physical books left for me to talk about, but there are some ebooks that I would like to talk about. The first one being Assassination Classroom. I actually read volumes 1 through 3 during October. I really liked them. It's about a creature that takes over a class full of people who just have no hope. In a middle school, I believe, but he wants to teach them how to be assassins so they can kill him, but he also wants to teach them so that they can actually like pass their classes and be like productive members of society. And if they fail, he's going to destroy the earth. I don't get it either, but I don't care. The characters are charming. The creature is charming. He's hilarious. I love this series. I'm probably gonna continue reading it. The next book I actually read in audiobook form, but I have the physical copy, and it is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I am another Ruth Ware down. I only have one left, and I did not get to it this month, even though I said I probably would. This was about a journalist that her house gets ransacked right before she has to go on the once-in-a-lifetime cruise on the Aurora Borealis, I believe, and she gets to interview all of these like rich people, but so she's definitely not gonna pass up the opportunity, but some weird things start happening, like the woman in the cabin right next to her, in cabin 10, nice play on the title there. She lends our main character some mascara, and then later on she hears somebody jump off into the water, and she goes to check on the woman in cabin 10, and she's not there, and no one else saw her. So she's under the impression that someone has murdered this woman, and they spend the entire rest of the book trying to figure out what happened. Audiobook form may have been a mistake, but I still enjoyed it. It was still a Ruth Ware. My least favorite Ruth Ware, sadly. I may have been different if I had read it physically, but I doubt it. And then the last book I tried to read in October was Toil and Trouble, edited by Jessica Spotswood. I told you all I did not like short stories, and I knew I didn't, but I tried it anyway, and I shouldn't have. I didn't finish it. I gave it 2 stars. It was awful. Not that the stories themselves were bad, I just could not get connected to anything. I didn't care. And that's kind of what plagues me about short stories, is I don't get invested enough to care, and I'm taking myself away from short stories from here on out. It's not worth it. I didn't enjoy them enough. Okay, so sadly, this is all I have to show for my books in October, but I actually read this many books. I'll put it right here. I don't know how many it was, but I hope you all enjoyed. Tell me if you participated down in the comments below, if you participated in Spookathon. I would love to know, and I would love to chat with you all. Please do follow me on social media. I am on Twitter and Instagram at BohannonBabbles on both. I actually have a blog as well. I actually also have a blog, and I have linked it down below. It is bohannonbabbles.wordpress.com. I would love if you all would go read my reviews and my daily life and Disney stuff, because I post all sorts of stuff over there. So I guess I'll talk to you all down in the comments. I'll see you later. Bye guys.